fund your holding companies and how to use H Undergrad and the power of LLCs. So, what we're going to do is get into how to use H Undergrad because there's some things I need to share with the people. And I think this is the best way to do it because a lot of you are not opening up emails. So, with that, let's get into it. What happened with all that? That was crazy. Google just crashed. It's been that. It's been one of those weird days. Let's try this again. Oh man. All right. Here we go. This is kind of wild. All right. How to make money with H Undergrad. So we're gonna get into a few things. First thing I want to jump into is how to use H Undergrad. There's something seriously going hanky with the emails. It's kind of crazy. Number one, there's only one email, Glendon at hundergrad.com. That's the only email you use. Don't hit me up on Facebook. Don't message me. Don't put it in the YouTube comments. Uh, I assume this is happening because you're not getting the emails. Every time I do something, I send an email. The URL is www.hustlerskungfulifeskills.com. That's where these things are, and I'll get into it longer. Patty is no longer with the company. A lot of y'all know this, but a lot of people don't. And I have a situation. It's a funny situation where Patty put her name and phone number on the email account, and I can't get into it. So if you're emailing Patty, just know that no one's answering that, and no one can answer that. I've tried contacting Patty a few times. She hasn't gotten back to me. Before emailing me, check your spam folder. And before email me, read your emails. I had someone who hit me up 6 7 times. He was getting indignant, and I had to copy and paste and show him where I sent this, and he was like, oh, it's in my email, my bad. So we have a lot of stuff that's going on because once again, email has become really crazy. So I want you guys to look in your spam folder. If you never looked in there before, you're probably going to see a bunch of crazy stuff. And you're probably going to see some emails that you wanted to get, but because Gmail, Yahoo, all of them are super sensitive. And if it's something that looks like a marketing email, they're going to throw it in the spam folder. All right. So any email that you get from Glendon at H Undergrad, move it to your inbox, and then everything can go into your inbox. And use Glendon and H Undergrad for H Undergrad correspondence only. No Facebook, not the YouTube comments. It's kind of crazy. All right. If you're in Hustler Undergrad, you have two bundles, H Undergrad and the Art of Holding Companies. And let me see if I can pull this one up. Oh, that's right. The browser crashed. Essentially, when I've emailed you a template where you can just click on that link and it's going to take you to your H Undergrad or Art of Holding bundle, and you can see all your courses there. All right. Now, all the training will go into the Art of Holding Companies until the next course is announced. So everything that we're doing right now is going to be in the Art of Holding Companies. Nothing else. So you don't need to look anywhere else. You don't need to email me after I do a training like, where's the link? It's already there. Now, what's the purpose of H Undergrad? To give you a foundation and skill sets for long-term wealth development and immediate cash generation. Let me read this again. What is the purpose of H Undergrad? To give you a foundation and skill sets for long-term wealth development and immediate cash generation. But how do we do that? Sales and marketing. I have had many people who ask me if I'm going to put in some stock market stuff in Hustler. No, I'm not. And I've had people ask about affiliate marketing. Am I going to put that in H Undergrad? No, I'm not. Only thing that is going in H Undergrad is stuff I know how to do and things that I am doing. That's it. I'm not going to go out and spend 6 months to 2 years to learn some new stuff to teach people. That's just crazy talk. So that's what we're going to be talking about. Sales and marketing, sales and marketing, sales and marketing, sales and marketing. But before we go there, we must build a foundation. Now, this is really the hardest part because you're going to work hard, you're going to spend money, you're going to set stuff up. You're not going to get any return immediately because you need to set it up. So we're going to be talking about holding company legal strategy, operating companies, the 5 checking accounts, personal and business, personal credit and business credit development, proper money management. Now, what this means is the money that you have now, if you're jacking up the money you have now, you're going to jack up more money later. How do I know this? Anton Walker, $110 million, broke today. It is not how much money you make. It is how you manage it, is how you allocate it. $110 million, even after taxes, even after agents, dude should have came out of that with like $50 million. If he had just blew 45 and leveraged 5, he'd be good. He just blew it all. All right, so we can get into mindset training, sales training, marketing training, the bilateral hustle, a short-term hustle, 1 to 2 years. This is money for you to live on right now. This is your immediate cash flow. And your long-term business model, the perpetual business model of starting a business today, working on it, keeping it out of debt, and 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years, that business is still in business, making you money in your retirement. Oh, that's right. You ain't retired. You just managing the business that's going to throw you way more money than your 401k, going to throw you more money than stock market. It's going to throw you more money than Social Security. I believe this next recession is going to lay a lot of people bare. It's going to strip skin from bones, and it's going to fundamentally change the social economic structure of our society. For some people in some classes, it's going to take a generation or 2 to get out of it. So, I'm not just saying this to scare you. This is what I'm doing. I'm acting like a man with my hair on fire. Now, after the art of holding, we will start Salesmatic, how to set up and structure your sales process. All right. So that's just a little overview. All right. Of what we're doing, how we're going to do it, because there seems to be a lot of confusion. And really, the confusion seems to stem from email. I don't know what's going on with email. Email is crazy right now, but it's causing a lot of problems. So also, we're not going to have a webinar tonight because I've got some people who literally, I don't know what's happening. If you're in Hustle Undergrad, tell me if you're getting the emails and stuff, because this is crazy. I got someone that email. Oh, don't email Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills at Gmail. You can't, because I deleted that account today. Once I get a hold of Patty, I'm going to delete that account, because we got people who are emailing these things and they're not getting a response, and they're getting a case of the ass. And it's just like, these are not monitored accounts. The only way you're going to get a really fast response, and that will be within mere hours or a few days, not even a few days, a day or so, 24 hours, a few hours to 24 hours, is if you email me at Glendon@Undergrad. Also, this is for students only, meaning you paid. This is not for anyone else. I will just ignore you, because I've had people who are like, hey, Glendon, hey, man, let me help you out. Delete. Hey, Glendon, your website isn't properly keyworded. Let me talk about that. And this will be a lesson in sales and marketing. Currently, Hustler Undergrad is a $9,000 product. Very few people are going to go from Google, just a Google search, and drop 9 Gs. They're going to have to come to the videos, see a bunch of videos like, okay, I like this guy, I like how he sounds, and then they'll click that buy button. So I'm not really worried about that right now because we're doing a direct sales model. We haven't even gotten into funnels, haven't even put any paid traffic on it, nothing like that. So, all right, so let me see. Now, one of the things that we have to do is be real about this. This is the foundational stuff is very important. I'm not going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you what you need. And fortunately, I've only had 2 people leave. So I felt pretty good about that. And actually, they got replaced by some folks. So this is a long-term process. This is school. You're not going to get the game in one webinar. Art of holding, because what I'm going to do, and this came from a question from the last webinar, is I'm going to do a diagram of how to put money into your holding company and how to create hustle money and put that into your holding company. It's a whole different thing because it's something that I used to do, but I've become 100% clean, so to speak, right? Well, a lot of you ain't clean, and you're not going to get clean until you hustle up some money. So we're going to talk about how to turn your hustle money into capital account money. So that's what's going on. So I felt I would do this, keep this short. It will not be like an hour long or anything like that, just to let people know what they need to, because it's weird because I emailed someone from a Gmail account and they got it, and I emailed them 3 times from Glendon at H Undergrad, and I don't think they ever got the emails. So it seems that the email clients, the Gmails, the Yahoos, have gotten smarter where they can recognize or make a determination very accurately if it's a business type email, which means it's going straight in the spam folder. It's crazy. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to go down. Also, just to let you know, typically the webinars will be after 7. I'm going to start putting more content in because this has been a crazy, crazy week with landscapers cutting my cable line, all kinds of crazy stuff. Richard Mayfield, check your emails. See, this is what I'm talking about. I have sent several emails about this. So I want you to go through your spam folder and go through all of your emails, and it's going to say info about Hustlers Undergrad, and it's going to contain that information for you because I can't give it out in a public forum. So this is what I'm talking about. Either because if you're getting emails, that means you're not reading them. Once again, this is school. This is going to be hard. You're going to have to apply yourself. All right, so that's funny, JP. Florence knock. I don't know about Florence. But yeah, that was funny. Like the browser just crashed. And the thing is, I know this from doing this about 5 years ago, that once you set up a live hangout, because the regular streaming thing wasn't working, just wouldn't work. It'll stay live for 8 hours if you don't shut it off. So it was just been this blank screen. Bearfield, we're not doing shell corporations. We're not doing shell corporations at all. What's up, Derek Bailey? Cool Breeze. Once again, we're not gonna move to sales. We're not gonna move to marketing. Some of you may be ready, you want to go, but we ain't doing that until we get everybody on board with these foundational principles, because this is what's going to happen. And I know from the emails I get that some people are checking in the courses every day. Some people once a week. They got jobs, families. Some people are weekend hustlers. They're doing all the courses on the weekend. So essentially, there's like a 7-day loop for people, everybody to become notified, because a lot of people won't even open up the emails until they are ready to sit down. All right, straighten out. I tell you, man. All right, this is we're just gonna keep rolling. It should see what I mean. It's just been that kind of day. Awesome. All right, JP, you're getting emails. Thank you, Virtuous One, for the $5 super chat. Jenny Wong, yeah, you got it's every time I do a webinar, I send it out. There's a special email list just for you guys who are in Hustler Undergrad. I can prove it because every time someone calls me and they get a little cranky, then I just like, this was sent on the 24th, and here you sent to your email address, the one you're emailing me from. So why aren't you reading it? Are you not getting the emails? So it's amazing. On the bright side, I have a business address. I have my phone with Spectrum Business. Awesome. Paragon Edwards got another. I don't even know what you're talking about, Paragon Edwards. Loft PH. If you have cash flow, yeah, those things are great. Matt Gresham, I'm a little confused about the holding company strategy. All right. Matt Gresham, I'm a little confused about the holding company strategy. I thought it was best to build a business first and validate before even touching the LLC holding company formation. Once again, the holding company is where the money goes. The operating company is where you test and validate your ideas. So you have an idea and don't work out. You're gonna stop, or you're just gonna start another idea. So it still holds true. Once again, this is not what many small business people do. When you go in and you have your stuff clean and you sit in front of your banker, they're gonna be blown away because most folks just come in, they have no grand ambitions. Thank you, Cool Breeze, for the $10 super chat. Earl Nightingale should be mandatory reading for the course. SB, I'm not getting consistent emails. Okay. For those of you who are not getting those emails, Glendon at H Undergrad, go into your spam folder and move those emails to your inbox. Pretty much, Ganja. Because I think one of the things is um, there's a lot of fear. Now, I should tell you the holding company strategy. Let's just say you don't know what you want to do, right? You create the holding company, then you create an operating company off of the holding company. And like you just messing around with stuff for 2 years. Well, your holding company is getting older and older and older. It's not, quote, a shell corporation, but you have some intentions to do something with it. Because once again, and we're going to talk about the bilateral business model. One, you have a hustle, you have a long-term business plan, the perpetual business. I'll tell you what my plan is. I don't ever see myself, quote, retiring. I have been retired before. When I wrote my first book, I was having like crazy money come in every day. And for about 2.5 years, I didn't really have to do anything. I did like 1 or 2 videos. I mean, my early videos, you see, I was just cocky as I wanted to be because I was just sitting there like, this is great. And I experienced retirement. I'm probably never going to do that again. But I do see having more control over my time, having the ability to do what I want. Now, I'm not there right now because I'm setting all this up. I'm going to hire an assistant. I got to train people. And that's going to be the process because you're going to have to hire people, which means you can't be a sole proprietor. You're going to have to train people, and you're going to have to create systems and processes. Yeah, Richard Mayfield, yes, they can. I'm not doing that. See, that's a great suggestion, Tim May. But once again, I have many different people who are in the group, and I have a lot of folks who are not technologically savvy. So I'm going to keep it the way it is, very clean, very simple and easy, because I wanted to change the name of the website, but I'm not doing that because that will create all kinds of confusion. So what we're going to do is create, well, just keep doing what we're doing. The emails, because the thing is with the chat, that means people will have to have it installed. That means people have to be logged in. I already see it being a host of issues with that. So this is what's going on. I'm just doing this as to let people know what's going on, how to get the information, because everyone that paid, you have been. I actually missed one, and he emailed me. He was real cool about it, and I actually added him. But for most, so I'm almost like 99.9%, but that 0.1%. So if you're paid, you should be on the email list. If you're on the email list, you're getting these emails, which more than likely are going into your spam folder. Cool Breeze, do you have to pay any taxes on the startup capital? Cool Breeze, your startup capital is already taxed. That comes from your W-2 money. Essentially, the holding company, I want you to look at let's look 10 years into the future. All right. So you're 10 years in, you figured a lot of stuff out, you got a business rolling, you filed your taxes, and now you have assets that you can do stuff with. You have assets you can get a loan with. You have assets, you have something you can leave your children. You can like bring them on, you can give them pieces of the company. You know, let's say you got, I think the gift limit is 12.5. So let's say you have two kids. You give them $6,500 of the company each year, or a strategy that we'll talk about where you can give them a lot of the company early, but maintain control. Because right now, let's say you start your company, it's really not worth much. You can assign a value of $1,000 and load your kids up. Oh, excuse me. You could set up a chat box. You mean, is that like one of the things that one of the bots that goes through Facebook? Because everybody in the course doesn't have Facebook. Or the promotions folder. That's wild. All right, let's see. There are no more questions. I love these people who come in like, get this book, get this book. I think you can find actually you can't find a lot of these strategies here. One of the things that you have to understand, this is something I've been doing for years. And this is something I had to explain to one CPA. And once I explained it to them, they got it and they checked out the legal on it and it was fine. So Paragon Edwards, one of the things I don't think people like you seem to understand, and I will say this, if you feel that you're smarter than me, start a YouTube channel and start teaching people. Let's see how that goes. But everybody can't read a book and learn. Some people need to be taught. Some people need a teacher. There are a few people who can read a book and figure it all out, but everybody can't do that. See, Ashton, hey, Glendon, what's your email for those who are not on list? I don't have one. Um, I'm so busy with this that if you're not one of the students, I'm not trying to talk to you. I'm not trying to be funny, but I got a few hundred people paying me money. Why would I want to talk to someone who isn't paying me money? I'm just keeping it real. They come first. I mean, that's one of the things. So, unless you want to sign up for Hustle Undergrad right now, until I get an assistant, I'm probably not going to be talking to anybody, not answering any questions. Because if you have a question, this is the time to ask right here. I'm here right now. You can ask your question. So I feel I do these streams frequently, so you have access this way. But I'm not going to be getting into consulting via email because that's really what it is. Daquan, you got me with those clean job things a couple videos back. It's crazy how many people still send their kids to college for clean. Paragon Edwards. Once again, when people come in the trats and they try to school people with a little extra help, usually it doesn't end up well. I've been doing this 10 years. So we'll see. Daniel Moody, if I'm working for a company right now, can I have them deposit my check that I'm making right now to my holding company? Daniel Moody, what you would have to do is have them hire you as a contractor and hire your LLC. There's a few more steps. Steve Jameson. Cool read. Books give you the theory, you giving this true experience. I appreciate that. Books give you a theory. Getting the book is like reading the book on pimping rather than getting the game from a real life pimp. It's just not the same. I like that. All right. Since we're kind of sensitive, all right. Remove. See, this is the reason. I know a lot of people want to flex and shine their expertise. You're not going to do it on my time. You're not going to do it on my dime. Go ahead and create your own channel. Do that. It's very hard. And that's why most people don't do it. No one I've challenged has done that to date. Richard Mayfield, one more question. My LLC has a sales tax permit. No, that's totally different. Yeah, just Johnny Wallen, if the emails in your inbox, in your spam box, actually move the email to your inbox, because you have to do more than click on it. Daquan Farmington, you got to do your research on that, because you may find something that I have no clue about. I know kickboxing and stuff is hot, but I know nothing about that business. See, one of the things that you got to do is learn how to research your business model, what you want to do. And the best way to do, I would say, get a job as a kickboxing coach at a gym and see what the business is like. Rob Lowe, I have 2 naked LLCs since HU. I realized I need to protect myself correctly. What are you doing with your 2 LLCs? Paragon Everson, once again, that depends upon the situation. See, this is one of the things. Everybody in here has a different situation. There are people with children. There are people who have folks who, because the best way to do it is to have a multi-member LLC. But some people, they're the only one that can do it. So they got to do an LLC by themselves. And there's a way to do that. All right. So that's essentially it. We will be doing a lot of training, because let's say the last live webinar I had, got a question about how to fund your holding company. And it was one of those crazy days. I was tired, so I didn't really give the best answer, and I thought about it. So I'm going to create the next webinar is going to be about that. And there will be a diagram saying where the money comes from, because people really like the diagrams and the charts. So there will be that. And that will be tomorrow, 7 p.m. Rob Lowe, real estate consultant and online resale for the. How much money have you made? Pennies. All right. Let me put it to you this way. You need an LLC or a C Corp to run the beverage company. So you would take that and put it in the trust. But why do you need a trust? Because there was a YouTuber who was talking about he had a trust and stuff. And as he was making his stuff, explaining his stuff, there was a lot of stuff he got wrong. So I don't know if he actually has a trust, or is he just saying that to sound sophisticated? I don't know. But You would need you would need some type of entity to operate the business. So you have a beverage company in a trust, you have an irrevocable trust or revocable trust. Once again, that's just, I don't understand how that works. Crew. No, I didn't forget the question. No, no. Once again, this is the reason I'm doing the live webinars. I know what's up in my head, but I don't know what you guys need. So when you guys, that was a really good question. That's like, okay, so we're gonna stretch that out, and also we're gonna get into some esoteric knowledge that you can't get out of a book on how you can really, really play a game. Because I ain't saying it here, but I will talk about that in the webinar tomorrow night. Richard Mayfield, and being that I have a single member LLC holding company for the moment. Yep. And we'll get into some other stuff a little later. But if you're going to have just a regular business, because you still make it. All right. I'm going to be careful what I say, because when I say stuff, people be taking that for gospel. You don't want to get raped on taxes. And as a single member LLC, you can file and get like half of the tax money back. But why pay it when you have options that you don't have to pay it? So we'll be talking about that. So any questions on Hustlers Undergrad? And once again, if you got a question or something you want to get at me, this is the place to do it, because I care about my students. I want the best outcomes for them. So that's where all my attention is. I'm like, I got a few hundred people paying me, so I don't want to really talk to anybody for free. And if that's offensive, it's offensive. Tech. Have you ever felt a surge of energy out of nowhere that allows you to manifest just about whatever you want at lightning speed? I'm going to be careful with that, because I have written down stuff and this happened within a few days. I don't know if that's considered lightning speed. Paragon Edwards, you're going to have to get into the art of holding companies, because that's another little thing. I have people who ask me like very pointed questions. That would be consulting. For those of you who want to get in right now, the links below. It's $300 per month for 30 months. Rob Love made money about $7K a month as a sole proprietor with real estate, then started an LLC. Other LLC hasn't made money first yet, set up both for single member. All right. Are you in the art? Because I don't recognize some of these names. I do recognize because people use their real names on the email. Thank you. That makes it great. But yeah, if you are not in the art of holding companies, you should join, because we're going to be talking about some stuff that'll be very interesting to you. Donnie Breeze, link for webinar. This is not a free webinar. I'm doing this mostly for the Hustle Undergrad students. You would have to be a paid member to get into that. JP, will you look over our docs before we submit it? I'm actually going to do one better, and I haven't done it because I've been meaning to do it, but I'm going to give you a template where you can just fill in what you need to fill in. Um, the best way, once again, are you in Rob Love? Are you in Hustler Undergrad? Because once again, that email is just strictly for students. Could you go into the steps of leveraging my job? Like essentially, you got to go to whoever your boss is and say, look, would you take me off as an employee and hire me as an independent contractor? You got to have that conversation. They're going to say yes or no. It's just that simple. Carnell Black, I would assume so. I'm not really sure. All right. Rob Lowe. Yes, I'm in Hustle Undergrad. So much content to start. Um, Once again, that this is an email thing. I gave people a list of courses to start with. So uh, do this. You're going to be at the next webinar. It's 7 p.m. tomorrow night. I know Friday night, but I spent this whole morning deleting emails, getting rid of stuff because people were, it's not good when people are emailing you and they think they can get a response and they don't. And it was just so many. I was like, I got to get rid of this email. Richard Mayfield, my child mom's hacks Gmail accounts with ease. I dare not use my name for an email address. Oh man. Rudy Long. Once I have both my companies up and running, I'm starting a third company, which would be a media company. That's the way I can publish music royalties, babies. Okay, Rudy. Von B, what would be the purpose of being hired as a contractor? Essentially, you have a job, but your money will be treated as if you own the business. It'd be a very huge benefit. Eugene, yeah, I went ahead and hit everybody because once again, a lot of people aren't getting emails. So good to know. Casey Graham, do you go over credit? Yes. And trust is a very advanced tech. Or before you get to the trust, you need to have some assets. You need to have some assets. You need to have something to put in the trust, and you need to have a conversation with yourself. Like, what are you trying to do? You create a trust. Like, let's say you create an irrevocable trust. What is it? That means you can't change it. And say your life changes. So there's a lot of questions and stuff you got, but trust will be toward the tail end because one, I'm trying to get people started. A lot of you want this advanced level training and expertise before you made your first dollar. Stop that. Stop that. Make some money. So we're going to give you enough stuff because once we get past the the foundational stuff is so important because you can't go back and redo some you should have did 5 years ago. It's 5 years in the future, and you're looking like, oh man, I wish I had did that. Yeah, I will do the template. Cool Breeze, the Diamond Site Company. What do you mean the Diamond Site Company? CC Charles. I've only used my LLC to receive Uber Lyft payments. You could turn into your holding company. I would also stop receiving Uber and Lyft payments because let's say you wreck, and I'm quite sure because a lot of you don't know, you can sign up with Uber as an LLC. That's what I did. So you're putting your company at risk. So yeah, you can do that and then create another operating company, receive your Uber and Lyft money. Uh Casey Graham, I have no idea about the birth certificate and trust. I don't even I have no knowledge of that. Milton Cock, if you switch to being yes, you do. Yes, you do. Absolutely. Rewind this video, Reggie, and you'll see because I had that all typed up nice and pretty. Venturous one, should I pay off my home first before I start a trust? It kind of depends because until you pay that home off, you cannot put it. Well, I don't know if that's true, but I don't think you can put it in a trust. Brandon, what should be my first? What is an SMMA? Don't give me acronyms. Give me the whole thing. Paragon Edwards. So if you've only made 10,000, 15,000 or more, where should a person start in your courses? Where we're starting is foundation. Once again, I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna give you what you need versus what you want. I know many people just want to get straight into the hustle. They want to get straight into the money making stuff. And we're going to do this foundation stuff right because this is what helped me. I was able to make a lot of money. I did not have my stuff set up. I got in trouble because I did not have proper allocation. I did not have proper systems. So let's say we teach you how to make a lot of money, and then self-confession time. You're gonna develop some bad habits. So you've had your business for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. You're making all this money. You ain't been paying taxes. You know how hard that's going to be. So we're going to start everyone off clean. We're going to start everyone at the right position. So you build your business and it goes to the point where you don't have to worry about stuff. So everyone's going to start with the art of holding. And then we're going to get into salesmatic, which is where we're going to get into the hustle and the long-term business plan. Hustle 1, 2, 3 years. You can do eBay as a hustle. You can do Amazon as a hustle. I don't like Amazon as a long-term business model because any day something can happen to you on Amazon that you have no control over. As a short term or as a side hustle, fine. Amazon, eBay, whatever. But a lot of people putting all their eggs in that Amazon basket. I'm telling you what's going to happen. I have 1, 2, 3, no 3 videos, no eBay, no Amazon. Everything in those videos has come to pass. Plus the other stuff is going to happen. Um, Ask me that during the webinar because right now, because I just use that as an example, and I'm not like you got to understand. I created that a long time ago. Oh, social media marketing agency. We're not talking about that stuff. We're not talking about that. What's up, Erica? One man's way. Did you need anything from your daughter to list her as an owner in the LLC? I need to have a conversation with her. Yeah. You can't do this without people's knowledge, right? Because there's going to be consequences. Because her social is what the EIN is generated off of. So fortunately, she didn't have any student loan debt or anything like that. But yeah, you gotta actually talk to someone. You need their permission. That's what you need. All right. Appreciate you, Richard, for the $10 super chat. E-Rock, can you lease a car? Well, there's a little strategy to that, but yeah, you can. But you got to do it a certain way. 77 figures. Will I be able to use a virtual address for a single member LLC? You could, but I wouldn't recommend it. Matter of fact, I actually got to go do something today. When it comes to business credit, real business credit, you're going to need a real physical address, one that can be verified. Cool Breeze. So I need the permission of a 13-year. Well, you have control over them, but know that if they're on that LLC, once again, if you use any of their socials to generate that EIN, then when they go to college or they're trying to get money and stuff, that's going to come up as income. So if you use your social to generate the EIN and just make them members, they should be cool. But you got to be real careful when you start bringing folks in and start using their credentials. Regis could be one. Paragons, check out my video, how to make 1,500 to 2,500 bucks a month using a service business as a side hustle. You're very new around here. There's probably 2,500 videos on this channel covering all these topics. Stay away from Da Vinci. Well, Man. Oh man. Oh, it's like that. I'm sorry to hear that, Von B. Michael Reinhart, should I get my credit? No. Once again, you're going to have to do multiple things. You're going to have to start a business. If you have credit issues, you're going to have to work on it. You're going to have to do things concurrently. You know, like the judges say, like you'll serve your sentences concurrently. So you've got like 6 charges and they come up to 20 years each. So instead of getting the 120, you would do the 20, and that's concurrently. You want to do all of them at the same time. Wow, Von B, it sounds like you went through what I went through. Erica Williams, thanks for the $5 super chat. Exactly, folks. Fight me every day about the physical location to get business license. Because someone on Facebook group said, "Man, you don't need that physical location." I'm going to tell you, there are businesses, legitimate businesses. Now it ain't going to be cheap, but for like $60 a month, they'll rent you a mailbox, and that's all you need. One man's way. Do you have a lawyer look? No, I don't have any. I don't have a lawyer looking over my stuff. If you want to get one to look over your stuff, you could. I have created about 35 LLCs holding, well, about 35, 36 LLCs, and just create another one. So that would be 37 the other day. And because I'm going to, since I just created this one, I'm going to chart in the art of holding what I'm doing with it, because this kind of goes to the question that someone asked about leasing their car. This is why I had to create that different LLC. Yeah, because the thing is, okay, Michael Reinhart, what do we know solves most problems? Money. Let's say you have bad credit. I had a client who had bad credit, and he didn't have like crazy stuff. He had bad credit because he tried to help people out, and people did not uphold their obligation. But he had a lot of money, and he ran a lot of money through a Chase credit card, and they jumped his limit to 100K. And his credit was still bad, but his money was very good. Yep, start with the art of holding. Because see, right now that's what I'm focusing on. You know, I have a bad habit of doing multiple things, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But I am focused and committed to getting you guys a firm foundation. This is what literally changed my life. This is what got me out of so many jams. Because when I left the boarding house, I still was better, but I was still doing dumb stuff. And one day I just like, okay, you gotta, you know, when the dude took me aside, the business environment, is looking, you gotta start an LLC. And you know, he told me what to do, helped me get this stuff. And I didn't do it right until like a few months later, but I had to pay a lot of money in taxes. So we're gonna do it right. Oh, we'll be talking about that in the art of holding. Milton Cox, that's what this is. That's what it is. I actually, you know, I set it up yesterday. I actually screenshotted the first things. I got a copy of the articles incorporate, well, the articles of organization. So yeah, Milton, I'll be sure on that. What's up, Edward Coke? Yep, we're webinar tomorrow at 7 p.m. Oh man, I have a feeling you're going to get your kid, Von B. I just have a feeling. That's good stuff. All right, so I'm about to go. Just watch this a few times. If you and let's have this conversation. Now, if you join the Hustlers Undergrad, understand that you're going to make a commitment and investment in you up front before you start making the money. Now, you join probably next month. I will be getting hard and heavy on Salesmatic because today is the 13th, and I should be able to get everything done in the art of holding in a sensible, cohesive manner because, you know, I got the people who come to webinars to ask questions. So, okay, I need to put this in there. It's one of the things I learned about creating courses. There's what I think people need, and then there's these hidden questions that I don't think to ask. So I appreciate you guys. That's correct, Reggie. One man's way. Someone stole my. You should be able to log into PayPal and add your new credit card. To all the men going through child support custody issues, come like Mr. Rogers, let her mess up the home team advantage. And I think a lot of women are reckless because they feel that they feel entitled. So that's a good policy. Rashida Hodge, do not use your home. Well, you could use your home address. I wouldn't recommend it. And do not use a UPS box. If you're just going to start a company, yeah, you can use a UPS box. You can start your home address. I think the home address may work because it's physical address, that may work for business credit, but you're going to run into some problems with that UPS box because everybody has this database of every address in America. So they're going to know if that's a commercial address or they're going to know if that's a UPS box address. What do you mean the limits? You can use all right, let's say you don't care about business credit. You can use a UPS box. No problem. You can use a United Service box. No problem. But you trying to get that business credit, that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a big problem. Well, all right. So I'm about to go, but we're going to get into it extensively tomorrow night, and we're going to get into the diagram, and we're going to get into the hustle component. Now, also, if you join the Hustle Undergrad, you need to join today. I had people who will try to join 30 minutes before a webinar. I'm doing so many things. I'm not going to have time to add you and send you links. So I'm just letting you know now. All right. So I will see you folks later. You have a good one. Do me a solid, go below and get on the live stream notification list. YouTube doesn't send people notifications, whether you subscribe, whether you slap the bell, they just don't. But if you get on the live notification list, then you'll be assured to get this information hot off the presses. So that you guys have a great weekend if you're not going to be in the webinar tomorrow, and I'll talk to you guys later.